The purpose of your life, if there is such a thing, is twofold: primary purpose and secondary purpose. Primary purpose does not involve time, and that's a very strange thing. Usually, the moment you talk about purpose, you immediately think, okay, future. Usually you can't think of purpose without bringing up the idea of future, because it seems to imply that purpose is there and I'm here. Purpose is where you want to get to. And whether or not you get there determines whether there's success or failure. So, what I'm suggesting is for you to realize that there is another kind of purpose which is primary purpose. Secondary purpose involves time, and we will get to that a little later. But primary purpose we can't get to a little later, because primary purpose is to do with realizing what the purpose is for your life is without time. And the first thing first little pointer we can use is to say, okay, I can tell you what the purpose is. The primary purpose is to sit here in that chair. And my primary purpose is to be sitting here and talking. I'm sitting in this chair. And my purpose is that. This is my primary purpose. Now, actually makes sense. Because you're already here, so how can it be your purpose? Your purpose is to be here fully, to align yourself with this moment internally, and to realize that wherever you are is where you're supposed to be. And whatever you are doing in the now is what you're supposed to do. It doesn't mean you can't do something else. In this moment I'm doing this, and I'm supposed to do it this moment. I'm drinking a glass of some water. This is my purpose right now. Now my purpose is to put the glass back on the table. In what way is that different? If I know that this is my purpose, in what way is that different from the normal way of doing it? Thinking about something else while I do it. The normal way of drinking a glass of water is you want to get there already. While you pick up the glass, you already want it to be here. And while you're sipping the water, you want the water to be already in your stomach. And while it's traveling back towards the table, you already want it to be there, even while it's still here. And this is only a tiny example of how people spend their whole life not really wanting to be with what they're doing, because every doing is a means to an end. And so they are not fulfilling their primary purpose at all. They are missing the whole thing. If every action you take, or almost every action, or 95%, 99%, whatever it is, even 90%, whatever you are doing is really a means to an end. And where's the end? In the future. And where is the future? It's a thought in your head. So that is the fate of humans, which is the fate of humanity right now, although some are beginning to step out of it, to live in such a way that is extremely frustrating and gives rise to continuous discontent, stress, anxiety, fear, and all kinds of things, because you are not fulfilling your primary purpose, which is to be aligned with the now, the only thing there ever is. Who is it? What is it in you that sees your own mind, its continuous chatter, its continuous self-talk, its how negative it is a lot of the time, because negative thoughts are much more prevalent than positive thoughts. You can say, oh, what a beautiful flower, but you won't think about that for very long. But a negative thought will survive for half an hour, 2 hours in your mind. The thought, a beautiful flower, which again is not, you haven't really seen the flower, it's a superficial thing. That thought remains perhaps for 10 seconds. Oh, that's a beautiful flower, and now let me think about what he did to me yesterday and what he said and what I'm going to do to him tomorrow. Oh. So what is arising is a dimension from where you are able to see what the mind is doing, awareness. The shift is from being a thought-based entity to an awareness-based, I don't even want to say entity, because you are much more vast when who you are, you realize that who you are has nothing to do with the thoughts that are going through your head. It is vaster and deeper.